Good evening, everybody. How's it going? It's me, Comic Crack, and doing another video today. It seems that when I get some new Nate Doyle, I seem to have some new Domino as well too. So why not just keep up that tradition and talk about both of those? I got both of them came today. Nate Doyle's new issue of Crooked Teeth, number 9. He's up to now, and then a small stack of Domino book stuff, which I'm extremely excited about. There's a lot in here that I'm very, very excited about. I've already read Crooked Teeth, and I've already read one of the, well, I've already looked through one of the books from Domino. I went to the mini convention yesterday, and it was mostly a bust, unfortunately. There wasn't that much there. I mean, there was a lot of comics, don't get me wrong, just not really stuff I'm that interested in. I wasn't really interested in it as usual. I'm looking for the people who are kind of new to the convention, who maybe have more kind of independent stuff, or maybe have more 50-cent bins and that sort of thing. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of that. It was still great to go and see people and flip through stuff. The kids came with me. There was a local author. She's done a book, and she gave her signed one and gave it to my daughter, which was very nice of her. Lillian was very, very excited to get this book and started reading it as soon as we got back into the car. So that was very, very sweet. Yeah, so I mean, we had a good time. We didn't stay for very long, but it was nice to get out there. One of the things I did find that was, I managed to find the final 3 issues of that 4-issue Demon miniseries by Matt Wagner. They're upstairs because I was reading them last night, actually. I haven't finished the 3 as I was laying in bed drifting off to sleep. So I'm excited to have the rest of those. Very curious to see how that whole story pieces together. I know very little about the Demon, so that was kind of nice. And one of the things I found was some Kaluta sketchbook series. So he had, excuse me, he had volume 3, 4, and 5. He says that this one is from December 2012. It cost me $10, but I love Kaluta, and I thought I'd give it a shot. They're kind of these magazine-sized editions here. We'll just kind of flip through it. I haven't really even looked through this, to be honest. They look beautiful. They're from IDW, so that's kind of the cover. And I guess it was $10 American when it came out, so nice to have it at the same price. And there's write-ups from Kaluta as well, too. Some text pieces accompanying some of this stuff from his sketchbook. So pretty cool to see. And some of them look to be very, very rough, but I kind of dig that. So we'll see. I mean, the guy who had this for sale, he always sets up. He's this older kind of hippie dude who always has some great stuff. He didn't bring a lot to this convention, which was a little disappointing because his booth is usually one of the ones where I find the most interesting stuff. So if I do end up really loving this, I'm hoping that he still has the next couple of volumes the next time I run into him at one of these cons. So very cool. Oh, look at this. Done as a poster for Marvel in 1985. Unfortunately, you know, with these kind of things, you're getting some of that gutter loss there, but nice to see. Sorry, I don't have any water down here either. There you go. So that's cool. Some Kaluta. Where should I put that? And then we had our Union Christmas party last night, yesterday. So family Christmas party. So I went to that, and afterwards to kind of decompress from that. I'll just leave it at that. I went to 204 Comics and dug through their 50-cent bins, and managed to find just a couple of things. So I finally found a couple of issues of a Thriller. I remember having this issue when I was a kid. Once I saw this cover, it immediately came back to me. I believe this Skull character also made an appearance in Ambush Bug, if I'm not mistaken, around the same time. So this is Trevor Von Eden. So I think this is issue number 4 and issue number 5. This was one of the recommendations from people when I talked about that Trevor Von Eden, Batman, Superman in a previous video. So I'm glad to find a couple of issues of that. I'm surprised I haven't really seen it out there that much in the cheap bins. I thought it would be one of the ones. No, it wasn't family. It was work. It was all work related stuff. I'll email you there, Gore. Hello, by the way. Hello. Another issue of Cormac Mac art. Roy Thomas, E.R. Cruz. So this was a 4-issue miniseries. I only have one of the other ones. So that was cool to find in the cheap bin there. A Ditko thing that I've never seen before from Dark Horse called The Safest Place, which looked intriguing as well. So glad to, always willing to give a shot to some of that stuff. And I found a couple of Grendel bits. Grendel Tales, 4 Devils, 1 Hell. I've already got 2 issues from here. So unfortunately, this is all they had. They had a few Grendel things, most of which I already had. But this one was one more I was missing there. So that was great. And then an issue from Devil's Choices from Grendel Tales. I think this is a 4-issue miniseries as well, too. So, and then finally, just some issues of the main Firefly title, which, again, 50 cents a piece. I'm not as crazy about the art in this series, but for 50 cents each, I'm willing to give it a shot. So anyway, that's that stuff. So let's dive into the mail today. I mean, I think there's some artists and there's some creators and writers that I've talked about quite a few times on the channel, so it comes as no surprise. I'll try to keep my gushing down to a manageable level for this one. But very excited when I saw the announcement that from Nate Doyle that Crooked Teeth #9 was out. So I ordered it from him right away. It was pretty pricey to ship up to here, but there's some things that I don't mind. I don't mind that, obviously I would prefer different, but I totally get the state of shipping these days. It's nobody's fault. It's just the way that it is getting shit across the border. And I just finished reading it tonight. It's a pretty beefy issue. So this is part 4, and we get a really big chunk. What is it? 20. He has them numbered. Let's just see here. Yeah, 23 pages of this is Blood and Thunder issue or part number 4 rather. So it kind of continues on with our storyline of kind of this these rival biker gangs and this kind of revenge story that's brewing up here that's going to come to a head. I imagine it feels like next part will be the last one, but I'm not really sure. And right out of the gate, I found myself just a little bit disoriented at the beginning. It's one of those stories where I always feel like I should go back and read the previous issue before I dig into it. But it only took me a couple of pages to kind of remember where we left off. So that's pretty good. I mean, that tells me something about my, oh, he also sent a pin too. Yeah, fuck yeah. He also sent me a nice letter as well too, which was very nice of him. And we'll talk about that in a second. It didn't take me very long to kind of get back into the flow of things. And I love this. So in our last story, the uncle had his place torched and he jumped on his bike and is going after the guy. So we get our opening page with these diagonal panels as he's racing through the street. And then it's broken up by the bottom here. Really, really great. Like you can feel that energy. And again, like one of the things I love about Nate's art is that energy in it. I like the fact that it feels, I mean, I feel kind of the tension in it, and the use of the diagonal panels in here, I think is really cool. It's a really nice effect. Again, like that whole page, there is shit going on, and it's a pretty heavy moment as he's catching him and has a tire iron that he smashes into the window, cracks the guy in the skull. and he smashes into a tree and he goes tumbling off his bike. Really good. The only thing I would say about this one, it feels like some of the dialogue was maybe a little rushed. There's a lot of like, it feels like there's a couple of like, you know, I don't want to be a fucking dickhead, but it's some of the punctuation and some of the spelling stuff does trip me up. So I felt like it was maybe needed another quick pass. But honestly, that's a minor, mild criticism in what is otherwise a pretty damn good story. Like I'm still really, really digging this. I think it's very, I don't know, man. I'm really intrigued, and I'm curious how much of this, if any, comes from like a sideline to maybe his personal experiences. Not saying that this is you know, his personal life by any stretch, but it has that feel that this is something that's maybe one or two steps away from maybe his experience. I don't really know, so I'd be curious to know that from him, just where this story is coming from. But again, I'm really glad. This is a great page too. So he's deciding, our main character has found out that this bully that's been bullying him and beat the hell out of him, his father is the guy that killed his parents. So he's now kind of coming to terms with that. In the middle of the night, he kind of gets up and decides to take off to go and get his revenge, grabs a gun. I love this transition here from the gun and the barrel kind of glinting to like headlights on the road, you know, I think is really nice. Yeah, and I won't show you much more than that. It's really great. These are the kind of things that you kind of need to grab as soon as you can, because he only does so many. That's why I hope that if the fifth part is the final part, I really hope that someone collects it. I know that him and Domino, like him and Austin, are friends, I think. So I mean, Domino, you know, do us a solid here. Do a collection of Blood and Thunder. And then we get some backups. So some stuff from sketchbooks, some single panel. Oh, what is that? Some sort of spam email coming through. Some stuff from sketchbooks, some like single panel stuff to kind of make up part of the rest of the book. And then we get a little story of a short time when he was selling weed, some reefer madness story, and kind of exploring the city and kind of getting reconnected with the city, which I thought was really nicely done. I love this kind of visual diary style of it quite a bit. Hello, Donald Rex. How the heck are you, man? And then we get, I think it's from 2001. Yeah, 2001, where he worked at a Burger King. So we get a little kind of like little vignettes of him working this shitty fast food job, which is pretty great. And then we also get a top 50 just of stuff. It's not like top 50 albums, it's just top 50 in it. Movies, music, that sort of thing. Things that have happened to him since the last time we checked in with issue number 8. And then the final one, it was something that appeared in one of the Freak anthologies. This is called Snap Snap, I think is what it's called. So the Freak anthologies, we've talked about them sort of because we talked about, or I talked about Christian Castello's Wild that just came out. That was the Floss editions earlier, and then just came out from, where the fuck did it come out from? Oni Press, right? Yeah, it was Oni Press. Sorry, blanking on the names there. So this appeared in one of those anthologies, and it's a really nice kind of little horror tale. Again, even with something like this, there really is a sense with his stuff that it's pretty close to some sort of like elaborating on a true story, you know, really great. And then the inside back cover there with a nice color piece. And then the back cover as well too, which took me a second to see the collage, like the skull and the person in the eye and stuff. Really nice. So again, continues to be like a solid mag. He sent a really nice letter saying that he appreciated the review of number 7. I think it was, I don't know if he saw the video. I had sent him some messages as well about it. So if he did see the video, and Nate, if you do see this video, if you ever want to hang out and chat, please let me know. I'd love to talk to you more about this stuff. Just shoot me a message or leave a comment here, or you know, however, try to get a hold of me. And I'd love to chat with you more if you're ever down with that. So yeah, Crooked Teeth, you can get it straight from him. I think you can find Nate on Instagram. Sorry, I don't have that stuff handy, but just search out Nate Doyle. Nate Doyle on Instagram, and something should come up there. Doyle. So that was that. And then Domino Books, there was a posting from Austin on Twitter. Actually, it was his mailing list. I'm on his mailing list now. When everybody thought that Twitter was going to explode and everybody had to get the fuck off of there, he did the great thing of asking people to sign up for a mailing list. And the first, I think it was the very first one he put out, he showed a few books that he had in stock, and there was one that immediately jumped out of the email at me, and I made an order like immediately. That one and a bunch of other stuff. I'll save the one that caught my interest for last. We'll just kind of look at some of the other things that I grabbed. Let's see here. Take that out of there. Is there any other personal information stuff stuck in there? No, there's not. Again, it's one of those things. I just took a chance on some stuff. I had a look at some of the listings, and what he'll do in the listings on Domino is he'll sometimes include some panels of the interior art. There's usually a little bit of a write-up as well too. So it was, some of this stuff was stuff that I'd heard something about before, but some of it was just a blind, that looks cool, let's give it a shot. So this was one of them. Thimble Horror Comics, kind of a mini zine with Schultz and Wimpy there. I can't remember what Snoopy's, it was like his cousin or something, wasn't it, in the books? I don't remember off the top of my head what his name was. So this, yeah, it looks good. I think probably in the vein of like that Charlie Brown story that I got from it was Seth Chester Brown and Joe Matt doing that. It feels like this might be in the same vein as somebody just kind of using those characters and creating something different. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It looks pretty good. The artist's name is Cornelius, is the creator's name, and I think he does the whole thing. Is there credits on the inside cover? Yeah, it looks like it's just Cornelius's name, and it looks like it was begun in 2016, into 2020, into 2021. So yeah, a few years in the making, this one here, but looks really intriguing. Spike, thank you very much, Donald. Thank you. It looks very intriguing. So that's super cool. I've heard many people talk about this one. The only thing that's stopped me from getting these issues is, honestly, it's been the price tag plus the shipping. These are not cheap individual issues. They're $10 US. But I've just heard so many people rave about this that I had to get one, and I love Jasper Jubenville's art. So I got issue number 3 of Vacuum Decay. I'm very, very excited about this one because, like I said, there's been a few people that have read this that raved about this anthology. But like I said, especially coming up here to Canada, it's shit gets pricey really quick. So that's why I haven't done it. It's one of those books where it needs to kind of come with a chunk of other stuff, but $10 for a comic is still a little expensive for me to kind of really eat that gamble. Hello, Rick Ray. That's great to hear. There you go. Another name added to the praise for Vacuum Decay. So here's the list of artists within this one. Oh, Corinne Halbert. She did that Nun book as well too. What the heck was that called? Acid Nun. I thought I recognized her art. I had a very quick flip through this one just to kind of see the art style. I mean, it's a beautifully produced book. I'll tell you that much. It looks really, really good. Looks very much out there, right up my alley. Yeah, here you go. Here she is. This is Corinne Halbert from Acid Nun. That's definitely her style, right? Yeah, it looks fantastic, man. Oh, look at this. Yes, this is Cameron Forsley. This is one that jumped out at me. I feel like there's about 5 different underground artists' influence in just this one piece. It's really a good kind of center spread there. Looks really insane. Give you a little bit more of a close-up of there. So there you go. That's Vacuum Decay. That's probably getting read tonight. Look at this stuff. Oh, that threw me for a sec. I thought my image was flipped. Can't Help Falling. Oh, wow, indeed, Gore Vidal. Corinne Halbert was experimenting with a proto-Acid Nun story in Vacuum Decay. Oh, there you go. Okay. What year is this one from then? 2021. So there you go. That's Vacuum Decay number 3. Excited about that. There was a couple of issues from I think it's an anthology called Blah Blah Blah. Number 1 is a mini comic again. Again, I'm afraid I'd love to tell you more about some of this stuff, but this is another one where it was absolutely a gamble. So I just don't know really anything about the creator or creators. I haven't even flipped through these ones yet. So this is the first time kind of seeing the interiors of this as well too. Oh yeah, that stuff looks good. Oops. There you go. One called Bad Sex. It's got to be stellar. That's the one thing I realized I didn't talk about when we were looking at ultrasound. One of the most awkward, painfully true to life sex scenes in comics history in ultrasound. Really, really amazingly done for awkward, uncomfortable sex. And then magazine size all of a sudden for issue number 2 of Blah Blah Blah. And this is from 2022. So maybe there has only been 2 issues then. And in this one, we get some color. Let's see if we get some credits on the inside. Front page. Oh, so I guess it is just a one person. Juliette Colette. So maybe I'm wrong about that. Not an anthology. Just a one person. It's true. Yeah, this looks really good, man. I'm very excited about this, flipping through it. Again, this would have been one that I saw some images from when I was checking out Domino's website. So there you go. Blah 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 1 and 2. One that's been on my list for a while. I've got a couple of other things from the same creator, Samuel Benson. This is Long Gone issue number 4. I think I have one other of the Long Gone issues, and then I've got something else by him as well. I'm pretty excited about this one. I really like his style. I like the stories in the books that I have previously. So this one is kind of been in a cart and out of a cart on Domino's site a number of times. As I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but I'll sometimes browse some of these sites, build carts, empty it, shuffle things around, and then not purchase, and then come back and do the same thing until finally I just make an order. So This one looks great. I love his style quite a bit. I really enjoyed his storytelling in the stuff I've read before. So this was, I'm pretty sure this was a Ryan Carey suggestion way back in the day when I made a very first order to Domino. From Floyd Tangeman, this is Miasma Myopia #1 from the Dead Crow Collective. So I think Floyd has done, is it Tinfoil and Jaywalk? Did he do both of those? Was he kind of like the editor of both of those anthologies? I think this is a solo one though. And again, it was one of those when I saw some of the samples, I was really, really intrigued. This is really great looking stuff. Let me just make sure here. Yeah, I mean, it says by Floyd Tangeman, Volume 1. So I'm very curious to see what this is about. And just to really dive into his artwork as well, too, and his storytelling. And maybe try to get a better sense of what it is he's trying to do with this stuff. I don't remember. I never remember which one I have, if it's Tinfoil or Jaywalk. I can never remember. I just remember it didn't really do too much for me at the time. But that doesn't mean I'm not still curious and want to give it another shot. And this does look pretty promising. I like the styles going on in here, especially considering that it's just one artist. I like the sort of changing that I'm seeing on the pages. So very cool. So that's Miasma Myopia #1. I think it's from this year. Yeah, it doesn't, or if it does say, I'm not seeing it. Oh, it looks like, yeah. So drawn from December 31st, 2020 to May 13th, 2022. So this did come out this year. I love Risograph. I love Rizzo zines. I love the color palette for that. I don't know if this is Rizzo. It doesn't feel, the texture doesn't feel like it. But this is an anthology called Cram Comics. We'll just unfold that there. And I mean, even just seeing the cover of this one, it didn't. I didn't need to see too much from the interior to know that I wanted to give this a shot. And again, this is a frickin' beefy volume here. Issue #1. Let's have a look at the credits. Again, it was one that I don't think I recognized many names. David Sandlin on the cover, and then there's the rest of the credits. Yeah, it's no names that I know that are jumping out at me anyway. So we'll kind of do a flip through. Yeah, August 2022 is when this came out. Oh shit, I know. Yeah, all right. So I don't recognize the name, but I know this first artist because I think I have this. What the heck was that mini that I have from the same creator? 4 a.m. What the heck was that one called? Yeah, anyway. So there you go. So I do know one of the artists. What is going on with spam emails? I'm getting inundated. What have I signed on to? I apologize. Uber to Queens. Andrew Alexander, I think, is the name of this for this first story, because the stip-on is on the inside front cover. So Andrew Alexander, Swammer excerpt. So it looks like 2 of the stories are excerpts from a longer story. Max Huffman has another excerpt in here. Looks great. Let's flip to some of the other artists here. Give them a show as well. Oh, yeah, look at this. That's nice. That's some bold. That looks great. Nice colors on this stuff there. Yeah, it has that feel, and when you look closely at the coloring, that textured look of Rizzo. But like I said, the pages feel really smooth. So I am no master when it comes to this kind of thing. So there you go. First 100 shots of Goblin 64. Preview written by Caleb Hummus. So some panels from a game, it looks like. So there you go. That's that. So the book that kicked off this order, man, oh man. As soon as I saw the cover and I started doing some searching, this is by an artist named Kyle Ranson from a publisher called Anti-Eye Comics. So Anti-Eye Comics and Kyle, they both have Instagram accounts. From what I've seen on the Anti-Eye website, this is the only thing that they've published so far. I don't know if this is if he's responsible for everything as far as like he's the publisher. He is Anti-Eye Comics as well. Kyle is a musician. It's called Moodus. Kyle is a musician. He's played with, I think he's played with the OCs, and he, which is, I think is it John Dwyer? Is that his name? Who's kind of part of the OCs and that sort of scene of musicians. He's also done some stuff on his own. My son and I were listening to, I guess it's a solo album, or maybe I can't remember if there was a band name or if it was just his name. It was pretty good. The music didn't blow me away, but his art fucking blows my mind. It's gorgeous stuff. So it was another one where just looking at the cover, I was already sold, and it sort of wraps around to the back too there. And the interior is some of the same stuff. So it's more art pieces, but sometimes you can see kind of a sampling of story in here. I mean, look at this. It feels like everything has influences for sure, but even with influences, there's still sometimes where you see some art where it feels like I've never seen anything like this before. And this is kind of what this feels like to me. And each of these pages are kind of their own just beautiful piece looked at as one big image. But you do with some of the pages, you can sort of sense the idea of a story moving through the page as well. Like this stuff is really great here. And then, even the number 1 and 7, so 17 jumping off the page at you, and just the little kind of creatures and characters on the side. The look of that stuff, like it's beautiful. I've like I said, I've already gone through this once. I see myself. This is going to live in a very easy to grab place for quite a while, because this is gorgeous, and I feel like I'm going to be flipping through this quite a few times. Yeah, highly recommended this one. Very, very highly recommended. Either go to Domino, see if he has some left, or like I said, just find what did I say? Sorry, Anti-Eye. Is that what I said? Yes, Anti-Eye Comics on Instagram, and you can find them. Let's go to, I won't show you every single piece, but I'll show you one of the other standouts. So for the first kind of half of the book, we get these really light background images. I hesitate to call them comics. It's pieces of art. And then we start to transition. This is nice too, those fingers bending around the corner there. And then we transition to stuff that has a darker background. And it kind of gets a little darker as you go. So you get stuff with these backgrounds. And then the very next page, you're getting stuff with these deeper blue and probably, yeah, totally wordless Rick Ray. Yeah, not a single word in it. And this was one, again, another example of kind of seeing a story unfold as this car's headlights catch a frog on the road. And then when they kind of stop, they see that it's this kind of sea creature. But when you look at the whole piece itself, it reads nicely as just a piece of art. I like I said, I've just never seen anything like this, and it's gorgeous, really gorgeous. And I don't know if Kyle has done any other comics. I know that he's done some art for posters, gig posters, and some album art, I believe. but I don't think there's been another collection like this. I would easily, you want to give me 100 pages, 200 pages, a nice hardcover edition, I'm sold, man. I'm your mark right here. So incredible stuff. Really, just really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. I mean, it's hard not to show you every single page, but I do want to give you a good sample, but I also don't want to show you every single thing in here. So Moodus, there you go, Kyle Ranson, Ranson, and then anti-I right there. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Rick Ray. Absolutely, I wouldn't hesitate, and just kind of double check. I don't know how many copies he got in. I know that on the Anti-I website, there was if you wanted to get in touch, if you were a shopper, distribution prices for. It's one of those where, unfortunately, my whole foray into buying a bunch of books to kind of sell locally just never really yielded a lot of heavy responses, because this would be one I would absolutely add to like a distro list if I had some success. But again, it's one of those books that I feel like it's just so beautiful. I would buy a few more copies, even if it was to hand them out to some people in town who I think might like them, to just give them away as gifts. So there you have it. That is it. So that was Crooked Teeth, and that was the Domino Order. Thanks very much, everybody. I'm going to talk to Rasa. Things are shifting as they do every weekend. I'm going to see if she's willing or wanting to do our chat on Saturday as opposed to Sunday. It looks like my Sunday is going to is filling up pretty quickly already. So yeah, I'm hoping. I really do want to have a chat this weekend, though. I'm jonesing for some comic book talk, and I'm jonesing to talk to Rasa and see how she's doing. And Donald, I'm going to be emailing you as well too, about what and when and why. So I'll reach out to you guys, and thanks very much everybody else for joining, and we'll talk to you.